Good morning, and welcome to the What's Up News Network, coming to you from Panama City Beach, Florida, the home of the world's most beautiful beaches. Just to give you a little report on different things here this morning. Starting off with the COVID-19 cases, Bay County has had a total of 100 COVID cases. We've had 3 fatalities. About 13% of the confirmed cases required hospitalization. There are 67 counties in Florida, and as far as COVID cases, we're way down the list. We're number 48, where a lot of the big cities in South Florida have an awful lot more cases than we do. All right, we've opened up pretty much in the last couple of weeks since Governor DeSantis agreed to open up the short-term rentals. Our restaurants are open. They're not at full capacity, but they're moving that way. They've made a lot of changes so they're in compliance with the CDC regulations and the plan that the City and County Commission presented to the governor, and he approved. We have restaurants that open. We have shops that are open. The condos are open for short-term rentals. One of the big openings is at Bay County Sports Complex. This is a $38 million complex that was just completed last year. This weekend we had 100 teams competing there. So it's one of the top venues in the country for sports. WonderWorks is opening. If you're not familiar with WonderWorks, it's an upside-down building at the intersection of Thomas Drive and Front Beach Road. Very entertaining. But one of my favorite places that is open is Gulf World. It's a marine park, and it's open. It's at 15412 Front Beach Road. And they have dolphin shows, they have reptiles, they have sharks, they have birds, rays, and a lot of other animals. It not only is very entertaining, but they rescue a lot of these animals and get them back to good health and train them. So it's something well worth your time. The children really love it, and I found the adults do as well. Talking about the alligators kind of reminds me about my technician, and he's a very talented guy. I've talked to you about him before. Billy Mac Richard. He's from Louisiana. But one of the things you probably didn't know about Billy Mac, he's a Pentecostal preacher, and I've been told a story about his church in Louisiana, about how these were a church full of righteous people, because Billy Mack did all his baptizing in the bayou in that parish, and you have to be righteous to be in his church, because if he baptized you in that bayou, if you're not righteous, you better be able to outswim the alligators. So if you need any work from Billy Mack, he's really very good. He and his wife both. They're good to design websites, to do videos for you. Almost anything you would want to do with it making videos or designing websites, they can handle for you. So you'll see their contact information on the screen. Last month, we had 770 units, that's condo units, available on the market. That had increased for about 100 units, and I think it was because a lot of people were concerned that they didn't know when the short-term rental market would open back up. But once the plan was submitted by the City and County Commission and the governor approved it, then that little bit of fear left them, and so those that put their units on the market thinking that it might not open up this summer, they have since taken them back off the market. So we've dropped from that high of 770 units last month, and we're back down to 693 units, and 393 of those units are gulf front units. So we're getting back down close to the number of available units that we had available around the first of the year. There's approximately 11,000 gulf front units, but right now we only have 393 that are available. So there's a good market for them. We haven't seen the prices drop drastically. We have seen some reductions. I get a report every morning, and this morning we had 4 reports. All 4 of those were where the owners, the sellers, were reducing the price on them, but only slightly. The number of closings that we've had is up by 6, so we had 76 closings this month. People ask, is this a seller or a buyer's market? And it's really hard to tell right now, because we're kind of in uncharted territory. We've had the virus that we've had to deal with, and now we got civil unrest across our country, which distracts a lot of people. But it looks like we may have what has been called by some of the folks with the National Association of Realtors is a V-shaped recovery. Means we had a sharp drop when the coronavirus hit us in the first part of this year, and it looks like because our market was so strong then that we may go back up just as sharp. So they refer to that as a V-shaped recovery. That's what we're expecting. Nobody really knows, and like I say, we're in uncharted territory. And a lot of the terms a lot of the doctors and politicians use, they say we're unprecedented times, and that's really true, because I can't remember anything quite like this in my lifetime. One of the things that the governor did yesterday was he extended the eviction ban to July the 1st, which means that you cannot evict someone if they hadn't paid their rent until after July the 1st, if it's not extended again. That also prohibits people who are late on their mortgage from being foreclosed on. Now, Florida is a judicial foreclosure state, and it takes about 2 years to foreclose a property here. It might be a little shorter since we really don't have any foreclosures here anymore. We got absolutely 0 foreclosures on condominiums. We do have one short sale, but this ban on eviction and foreclosures does not relieve the tenant or the property owner from his payments. He still owes the rental payments, and he still owes his mortgage payments. So it just delays the time when a landlord or a mortgagor can take action against the tenant or the property owner, the mortgagee. Last Friday, we lost one of our visitors, a 62-year-old Tennessee lady. Sherry came down with some of her lady friends for a girls' weekend, and unfortunately she had to be pulled from the surf Friday evening or Friday night. It's not clear yet whether or not she was drowned or whether or not it was some medical emergency that caused her death. But we love our guests, but we want you to be really safe when you're coming down here. A lot of times, because of the beauty and the excitement of getting here, people don't pay attention to safety issues. One of the things that you must look at is the flag system. If you see 2 red flags flying on a pole, do not get in the water. The undertows, riptides, are much stronger than the strongest swimmer. So do not get in the water. People take a chance with that all the time, and a lot of times when guests get down here, the first thing they do is hit the water. But you should check the flags first, because rip currents are extremely dangerous. Should you get caught in one, you don't try to fight it. You swim parallel to the beach until you're out of the rip current, and then you can go to the beach. But most of the people exhaust themselves trying to outswim the rip current, and you just can't do it. It's too powerful. And also, a lot of the rescue people, a lot of family members who see maybe children or family members in trouble, they try to rescue them, and they get caught up in it, and it's most likely that the rescuer gets killed, and the person who originally got into trouble gets out of it. But be safe. And if you rent golf carts, or if you rent the little cycles, drive them only on the roads that are slow. Don't get on Highway 98 with any of these vehicles. You're likely to get hurt or killed. And if you're got your family on a golf cart, don't put your children on the very back. If that cart gets hit from the rear, chances are they're going to be killed, or they're going to lose their limbs. So we want you to come down. We love you, but we want you to be safe and have a great time, and come back to see us often. That'll do it for today. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.